Good morning, everyone on Facebook. Today is a great episode. We got a bunch of things to talk about with local business owner Caroline Merryman of Caroline's Cookies. I'm pretty sure you've heard of it. If you have not heard of it, you're probably one of the more rare ones because it has been a business that's been blowing up. We have her, the founder, here today, so we're going to be talking about her business. And so this is the tea. All right, so Caroline, welcome to the tea. I'm glad to have you back on.
Thank you. I'm excited to be back.
It's been, better part of a year?
Yes, I think it was last March, so almost a year. That's crazy.
I know. And whenever I thought about that, I was like, dude, it would be so amazing to get Caroline back on to talk about just the past year and all the crazy things that have happened since the last episode, because it just really went haywire.
Yeah, so much has changed in just a year, like an insane amount. It's crazy.
I know.
Quickly, too.
Well, we'll talk about that in just a second. First, you already know, check out our sponsors, the Music Academy of Acadiana. They're Acadiana's top choice for music lessons in guitar, voice, drums, violin, audio production, all of that good jazz. No pun intended, or actually pun intended. I think I meant that. Either way, they have about 500 students enrolled through the month. Great local company. Their website is musicacademyacadiana.com. They're on Facebook. They're on Twitter, Instagram. Founded locally by Tim Benson, who graduated at the University of Louisiana at Lafayette for music school. He's also a musician, so right up his alley. Check them out. And then we have The Orchard, who is Acadiana's only Apple authorized service provider. So if you have a broken Apple device or if you need networking in home or office, they are the source to do that. They'll fix your Apple device up as if it was brand new, straight out of the box, because they follow all of the guidelines that Apple sets forth, and they cannot do anything outside of what Apple says is the right thing to do. So check them out, theorchardstores.com. They have 2 locations in Lafayette, one by Buffalo Wild Wings on Ambassador, and then Karen Crow next to Super One Foods. And we are going to get on with the episode. And if you didn't catch the short little intro, we have Caroline Merryman, the founder and owner of Caroline's Cookies, who is a local small business in Lafayette that is just doing things that are making people's heads spin. And it is amazing. So again, Caroline, welcome to the tea.
Hi, thank you. I'm excited.
So over the past year, since our last episode, a lot has changed. I know on our last episode, we were talking about your business and how it was an online business that you created. Initially, was created just from you baking for your friends in high school, middle school to high school. And then ultimately, someone asked to buy some of your baked goods.
Yes.
And then you started drifting into getting paid for cookies and cupcakes and all that good stuff. And decided to open up an online store, which had been the craziest online store. I mean, I remember you telling me that you would sell out of 400 to 500 cookies within 5 minutes of your site going live. Do I have most of that right?
Yes, you do. So I started an Instagram for fun, and then somebody asked if I sold the cookies, so I was like, will people buy these cookies? So I tested it out, and I opened my orders through DMs, and then they just continued to sell out each week, and I would make more and more, and we sold out, and then my brother built me a website, so that made it a little bit easier, and then I did pop-ups and the farmer's market, and we kind of I just kept growing, kept making more and more cookies, learning more, and it just kept taking off. It didn't stop. Yeah,
I know. It's been wild. So I want to make sure for the people that are not familiar with your business, we're kind of setting up the initial beginnings of Caroline's Cookies. So when did the website get started?
So the website, I can't even think, it's 2022. Okay, the website was built and started in January of 2021. So I think we used it the last week of January 2021. And we used it probably just 6 months until I stopped orders and started working on the storefront. So I did online sales for about 6 months through my website.
So the website launched in January of 2021?
Yes.
Literally 2.5 months, 3 months since before the podcast that we had?
Yes. So, I did online orders on my Instagram from,
okay, got it.
Was it September to December? It's like all that the year before. It was just through my
so you were building
messages.
up. You were building up a fan base.
And I was doing the farmers markets and pop-ups, but I didn't use the website until January. We only used the website for a few months, but we were just doing orders through Instagram, so people would like direct message me their order. So then we got more official and got the website, so that was a little more cleaner.
Yeah. Okay. So since our last episode, I had asked you in the last episode if you had ever planned on getting a physical location, and at that time, I think you were like hopeful that maybe one day that would happen, but you was not sure if that would ever happen, but you were just going to continue your online presence, and you were doing pop-ups. How quick after our episode did things just kind of start snowballing into you getting a physical location?
So very quickly. So I think that I'm really bad with like dates, but I think that interview was in March. And then in the interview, I remember saying that I would love a storefront, but it's like scary to dream big. And I was still in college at the time. But I think about mid-April, I was talking to my best friend's dad, and I was like, I'm either going to stay in school and stop Caroline's Cookies or pause school and go full Caroline's Cookies. And he was all for me pausing school because he's like, college is going to be there. And within like a few weeks, it just went like that. I actually looked at a space to rent before I told my parents. I was looking with my best friend's dad, so it was very fast. And then I ended up dropping out of school that month, in April, I think. And we started looking at the space in April.
Wow.
So that was very fast. It was within April. A few weeks.
Yeah, March, so right April. After. I mean, literally not even 4 weeks.
It was right after. I had talked about in February and March, I was looking into commercial kitchen space to rent. But I think at the time it was closed because of COVID. But we went from, I remember saying I'm going to give 100% to school or 100% to Caroline's Cookies. Because I remember, I was like, I feel like I can't do both. And I chose Caroline's Cookies. So, and then we didn't end up opening until August, but there was a lot that happened in between there. I think my last pop-up was in June. And then July, we were getting the storefront ready, so.
Wow.
It was very fast. I feel like everything happens very quickly, but at the same time, in perfect timing.
So was the location that you have now, which is in Park Lafayette on Camellia and College Saloon, was that the desired location initially, or did you have other spots in mind?
So that's actually the only place that I looked at. I knew was available, and I wanted somewhere that like kind of embodied Caroline's Cookies. I loved the space. I loved how bright it was in the windows, and it worked. I live right there, so it really worked for me, and it ended up working out. So it's worth it to me. The space is so pretty, and it ended up being just how I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
And we thought that the kitchen was, this is another story, but we thought the kitchen was so big. I remember me and my mom were in there, and we're like, this is way too big. Like, this is so much space. And then, like, 2 months after opening, we were like, we need more kitchen space. So now we have 2 kitchens, but it's crazy how I remember walking in there being like, this is huge. And we're like, I do not need all this space, but we got it, and then it ended up not even being enough.
So you now have 2 kitchens?
Yes. So I rent out another kitchen space in Park Lafayette. So we have 2 kitchens. So one is where I bake the cookies, and one is where we prep the dough.
Wow.
So my first kitchen is just ovens now. So it has 2 double ovens. It gets very hot in there, and then a bunch of cooling racks and a fridge for the cookie dough.
Okay, so obviously you ran out of space.
Yes.
That leads me to think, like, are you going to stay in this location, or does it work for you?
As of right now, it really does work with that additional kitchen space, but when I was talking with my family and stuff about this business, I was like, I really need to sell 300 cookies a day. That was the goal, to make everything work. I was like, I would love to sell 300 cookies a day and be open 4 days a week.
Caroline, I think you're selling more than 300 cookies.
Yeah, we're selling way more than 300 cookies, which is amazing, but that's how we outgrew it so quickly, because I was like, this is the perfect space to make 300 cookies. I had it all planned out. I thought I knew exactly what was going to happen. I was like, I think I could do 300, and then it's been amazing. So we've been serving 1,000 to 2,000 right now. So
okay, all right. I knew that you were up to near the 1,000 mark.
Yeah. So we had started when we first opened. We had five of us on my staff, and now we have 16. So that has happened within 6 months. So we're able to make way more cookies now. We started when we first opened in August. We were making 600 cookies, and it was 650 and 700. And now we're making 1,000 to 2,000, depending on the flavors of the day and the amount of staff we have. But some flavors take a little more time.
Yeah. Okay. So with your staff, I know in the beginning, a lot of people would say, there's a long line. Yeah. It takes so long to get to the line, and then by the time they get to the end of the line, sometimes they run out of cookies. I know that's been a big issue. And so you obviously have added staff.
Yes, so we added 2 more, and then 3 more people, and then 4 more people, and now we're up to 16 of us, which is amazing.
16
it's
people.
Crazy. Yes, I'm learning.
So you started around 4 to 5.
Yes, there was 4 people and then me, so 5.
So and correct me if I'm wrong, but some of the initial people in the beginning were your mom and your brother.
Well, okay, wait. So there was my best friend. She's on my staff too, but I forget that she's on my staff. My best friend, my mom, and my brother. But then I also had hired 4 more people that I didn't know.
Okay.
So that was I say the 4 people because it was like.
So the 4 to 5 people was not considering the
yes,
family.
My family.
Okay.
Yes. Because my mom still helps here and there, and my brother helps all the time, really.
Look, your brother Reese.
Yes.
I mean, the photos and videos.
Yes.
That's his forte, and
he's
obviously
amazing.
It looks great.
Yes, he does a great job. I'm always impressed.
And then with that in mind, actually, I'm gonna show people your website. So this is Caroline's website. As you can see, it is eatcarolinescookies.com. I'll throw that link on the screen. Excuse me. So eatcarolinescookies.com. So if you're looking at the website, I mean, the website is, in my best description, the website is edible. Like, I feel like I could eat the website looking at this cookie. This is the circus cookie that I'm seeing.
We try and keep it really simple too, because I want people to get, when they get on our website, our business is confusing enough. So I'm like, let's make the website simple, not put too much information, really only put what's needed. So that's what we kind of try to do with the website. Because I don't do online sales, so really it's just kind of an information center.
So you've transitioned your website from being an online store to now you're selling strictly in the physical location, right?
Yes. So we do have a virtual queue, but that's kind of a long story to get how that happened. So we opened up August 14th, 2021. I remember we had 2,100 cookies. Me and my friend had been prepping cookies for 4 days. But I remember saying, I was like, should we put a 6 cookie limit? Because I was like, I don't know how many people are going to show up. I was like, we'll see how the turnout is. If there's a big turnout, then we'll put a limit. That way more people can get cookies. Because I hate when people wait and then they don't get them. I feel very bad. So, and then that day, the line wrapped around Park Lafayette. So I was like, I think it's safe to say we can do the 6 cookie limit. And then from there, the lines have just continued, and they haven't stopped, which is amazing. Every day, I'm like blown away again and again. So we moved from the line to time slots. So basically, I'm kind of bad at explaining this, but time slots are like a 20-minute time period where you can come in anytime during those 20 minutes, and you're guaranteed 6 cookies. So we still have that 6 cookie limit 6 months later, because we're trying to get as many people to be able to get cookies as possible. But now, if you go to our website at 9 a.m. each day we're open, you can book a time slot. So you basically book an appointment to get cookies. So we don't do pre-orders, but you can book it. So it opens at 9 a.m. every day, and they go within 2 minutes. So you just put your name and number, and then you get your time slot. So then you show it at the door, and you come in during your time.
Wait, did I just catch that you said the time slots go in 2 minutes?
Yes. So we're open Wednesday through Saturday. So at 9 a.m. I open the time slots, and then I think the longest it's taken is 5 minutes. So depending on the day, how many cookies we have, we usually do about 200 to 300 time slots. It depends on the day, but they go fast. So it's crazy.
So what are people like? Obviously, people must tell you their frustrations. Yes. They want a cookie bad.
I know. I always say, I have friends and family who are like, I've never come because I don't want to wait in line. I'm like, I don't blame you. I don't know if I would either, so don't feel bad.
I'm almost kind of a little upset that I didn't get any cookies today.
I was supposed to bring some, but I forgot. And I always tell people this. All my friends and family are always like, I never get cookies, and I'm like, I don't even think about it. I'm like, I'm so I'm getting towards the next day. I forget to do it.
Because
I'm so sorry.
I have not tried the cookies yet.
Well, I can bring some back, because we do have some today. We are open
That'd
today.
be amazing. I would love to try one.
I actually intended on bringing some. I always do this. My workers always ask, can we get some cookies? I'm like, yeah. And then I forget to box them up. So I'm a little bit forgetful with that.
So a lot of people have asked me, because they think that I know a lot about Caroline's cookies, and I only know enough of what you've told me.
And it changes. We're changing continuously, because we're
the
trying to get
business
better.
changes all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, you were an online business that was selling out within 5 minutes of cookies. Now you're an in-person business selling out of virtual time slots. It's evolved in such a way that it's a form of envy for a lot of business owners right now. They're looking at your business going, what is she doing? Is she
a lot of people
crack?
are always like, how can a cookie be so good? And I think I always just say it's made with magic and love. I don't know. And sugar, everybody likes sugar. So
yeah, sugar is kind of a drug.
Yeah, and we always have new flavors coming back, so then people want to try the new flavors before they're gone, because we have some pretty good specials that people are excited about. And we have good staples too. But
yeah, since you mentioned some of the cookies, I am going to pull up some of the cookies now. Just give me a second here. Let me load some up.
And the time slots really like help us and help you, because you don't have to wait in line outside and possibly not get cookies. And then it helps us be super efficient. So we can check out 32 customers in about 15 minutes. Which is pretty quick. 32
customers in 15 minutes?
Yes, so we have 20-minute time slots. We usually finish about 5 minutes early. So if you get in there, you see the long line, it'll take no more than 20 minutes, but usually about 10 to 15. So we're
getting so... You're oiling this machine up.
Yeah, because when we first opened, we were so slow. I mean, I didn't know what to expect, and now I feel like we're getting it. You know, we have 2 people checking out, 2 people boxing, and we fly through it now. Because we really want to make it seamless for
everyone. So before we get ahead of ourselves, I want to show people that are watching some of the cookies. I got some of the images that I ripped straight from your Facebook page, because why not? And if you haven't realized, her Facebook page is linked in the description in the video. So first, I'm gonna show the cookies for this month. I believe it's this month.
Yes.
So you got the original king cake.
Yes.
Cream cheese king cake. You have your staple cookie, the circus cookie. Your funfetti cake batter, which I think is also a staple.
Yes.
It just has the Mardi Gras colored confetti. Then you have your cookies and cream, which I think is something that stays around.
Yes. So those, is it the bottom 4? I think it's the bottom 4 are the staples in that picture, and then the top 2 are the specials this month. So that original king cake and that cream cheese king cake, because I know not everybody likes cream cheese, so I did both this month.
Yeah.
And then this week we have a red velvet cookie that's stuffed with cream cheese. And that one people are super excited about. It has a lot of cream cheese in it.
Yeah, I'm showing that picture right now. Look at that. That right there, that cross section.
I know, it turned out very good.
Look, if that was Reese's idea to cross section that cookie.
He does all of that.
Yeah, that was genius. Because when people ask me what is so special about these cookies and why are people waiting in line, I tell people they're different.
Yeah.
They're thick. She likes them gooey.
Yeah, I always tell people, I'm like, you have your favorite kind of burger or your favorite pizza place, and I'm like, everybody has their favorite cookie, and my favorite cookie, well, I actually like all sugar, but I guess my extra favorite cookie is a thick and gooey one, and I really wanted to make something that was unique and something that was special to Lafayette and that people hadn't really seen, and I guess that is another thing besides them being made with magic and love, is that they're weird looking. They don't look like a cookie. They're big and they're thick and they're gooey. They're really different. So,
what made you want to make the cookies this thick? Like, why look like this?
I guess because it was a challenge, and I think that they taste better than thin cookies. I like any cookies. I really like sugar, but I think it's because it was a challenge, and my brother-in-law suggested it to me. There's a bakery in New York City called Lafayette Bakery, and they make thick and gooey. Well, they make they make kind of similar cookies, but mine are like pretty thick, and I wanted theirs a little bit bigger. I think mine are 4.2 ounces. I think that's like a good size. You can eat the whole thing, but you can also share it. I can easily eat the whole thing, but
4 ounces?
Yes, they're 4.2. Last time you interviewed me, they were 4.2. I don't know why I picked
that
number.
Cookie,
it's
man.
a big cookie.
That's a weighty
the box
cookie.
of 6 is like heavy, so
that's
they are
awesome.
pretty big.
All right, so I have a couple more photos because people love to eat with their eyes. So this right here is another image of a cookie. I don't know what cookie this is. It's the image where there's icing kind of just dripping over the top of it. And it has like
wedding cake? Is it sprinkles on top?
Yes, it looks like it might be a wedding cake.
That's a wedding cake cookie. That flavor, I had it for my grand opening in August, then I brought it back for January. People were really excited about that. It's something unique because I always do, besides this month actually, I always do one chocolate flavor and one not chocolate flavor for my specials because some people love chocolate, some people don't. So like last month I did wedding cake, that was my not chocolate favorite, and then I can't think of what last month was. I forgot what last month's flavor was.
And I didn't save that photo.
It was wedding cake and something else. I can't even remember.
All right.
Oh, Oreo swirl. So one was chocolate and one was,
I did have that photo, but I deleted it because I was like, it's not relevant to this month. But what is relevant to this month is this next picture, which is obviously Valentine's out. You got the hearts kind of sprinkled around. You got some roses, and the cookies are red. You got one that looks like a solid red velvet, which you saw the picture before, has a cross section with the cream cheese, and then it looks like you have like a take on the king cake.
Yeah, so it's the original king cake. So my king cake is like, an almond cinnamon cookie. So the almond kind of makes it a little bit different than just a snickerdoodle cookie, because if it didn't have the almond, it would be a little bit boring. And then I would just put the glazed pink for Valentine's. So that's my original king cake, which is so good. And then at the bottom there is the funfetti cake batter cookie.
Yeah,
I think I can't remember what the picture looks like, but it's just we went all pink for Valentine's because gotta have to celebrate.
Yeah, I mean, so God.
And one thing I love doing is celebrating holidays. Like, I've decorated for every single holiday.
Look,
and I love going big, giving you a reason to come back, making anything a big deal.
Look,
really.
that is apparent. I don't think anybody is questioning your company's marketing methods because it's working. I mean, the fact that you sell out of cookies, thousands of cookies a day, because somebody was asking me, they were like, she's got like a super expensive location in Lafayette.
Yes.
Like, how is she making enough money to support that expensive location? I'm like, dude, first of all, the cookies, last time I looked, was close to 6 months ago, was $2.95.
Yes, and then in January, I was pretty transparent with that. We raised our price to $3.15 with my cost of ingredients, like, shooting up very high. I was very honest. I raised them in January.
So over $3 a cookie.
Yes.
And obviously you're having no issues selling the cookies.
Yes.
Because you're selling out.
Which is very.
And I told people, I'm like, look, she's selling. At the time, whenever I told these people, because I have a bunch of business people who always ask me, like, what is the biggest thing? What's the most popular thing that you know of right now? I'm like, dude, I don't know what's going on with Caroline's cookies, but like, it's wild. And so we get on that conversation, and back to kind of the revenue and what it would take to support a location like that. I tell them, look, first of all, her cookies are at the time with $2.95 a cookie, $3, just rounding it up. She sells over 600, sometimes 1,000 cookies a day.
Yeah.
And she sells out. Like, she opens at 11.
Yes.
Mind you. And for the longest time, by 1:30?
Yeah, that's what we're doing right now. We did make it our full store hours 2 Saturdays ago. We were open 11 to 3, so that was a big success for me. But yeah, I think that I also just keep an eye on all of my prices, and I'm learning how to maintain that, keep an eye on everything, keep it in line.
So this goes without saying, but you're doing well at the location.
Yes.
Will you... This might be jumping ahead, but it's on my mind. I have to know, and I think other people want to know, are you planning on another location?
I think that some days I'm like, let's do it. And then other days I'm like, we don't have this one, like, ready yet. I don't know. I think that, dreaming big, it would be so cool to have another location, but also I'm like, I would love to just focus on one and make sure this one succeeds and does well. But I guess also we've only been open 6 months, so I don't want to grow too quickly, you know. But I don't know. I guess it's the same thing as last time you interviewed. I'm just getting through this week. I'm like, I just have to make Wednesday successful and Thursday successful, so just focusing on week by week.
Yeah. Look, we're going to end this podcast, and you're going to message me later today, hey, I just bought a location here. I'm like, oh.
That would be amazing, but I'm like,
be.
I am, my mom was always like, what are you going to do this month? I'm like, I'm just getting through today. I'm going to get it through tomorrow, and then, taking it day by day.
Yeah. Speaking of taking things day by day, as a small business owner, obviously, we've already kind of touched on some of the challenges that you've had. What are some of the biggest challenges that you've had to face from, the early days of just on Instagram, then to the website, and now to the physical location? Like, what is, I guess, 2 or 3 of the biggest challenges that you've had to face or that you are facing today?
Probably consistency, because moving from my kitchen at my parents' house where I was so comfortable, I had a small mixer, I touched every single cookie. If I didn't like it, I threw it out. I do that all the time. If I don't like how a cookie looks, we're not selling it. But moving from my parents' kitchen to a commercial kitchen, that was such a big challenge, and learning my new oven has been a very big challenge. So being consistent and growing from just me making cookie dough to trusting mostly 4 of my staff members make the cookie dough. So consistency, like making sure that the dough is being made right, the cookie dough balls are being rolled right, the right weight, it's being baked right. I'm still the only one who bakes them in the morning, but now a lot of our staff actually makes the cookie dough. That has been the biggest challenge, just making sure that it's the same as when I made it. You know what I mean? Because I went from just me making it to now 17 of us making it. So you really have to make sure you keep your eye on everything, and make sure you teach them well so that when you leave, they know how to do it.
Are you like the Steve Jobs of cookies in the store?
I guess
where you're so strict.
I feel like I want it to be the right way, but my workers are amazing, so they want it to be the right way as well. They want us to do well.
Oh, that's good.
I feel blessed with an amazing staff, which has made it very easy. But consistency is hard, and then I'm learning how to be a boss. So that's another thing, because it's an awkward thing going from being 19 to being a 19-year-old boss. So that's what I'm learning how to do. I'm learning how to be a good boss because I really focus on having a good work environment. That's a very big deal to me, that my workers are happy, they have the hours they want, and they get good paychecks and everything. So that's something that's very big. I'm learning how to be a good boss.
You know, that is wild to hear someone so young. And I know this, I don't like talking like that, but whenever I was 19, 20 years old, I didn't think about anything like that. I didn't have a business, of course, to think that way. I mean, I had a business, kind of, but not like, obviously, one that's pumping out product
Exactly.
daily.
There's a lot that goes into it, too. But I really value my team being happy, because my team's happy, I'll be happy, and everything. They'll work better. So that is a very big deal to me. But, yeah, when we open at 11 o'clock every day, everything has to be just right, because we have 200, 300 people that are booked, so all the cookies have to be baked and ready. So they have to be frosted, the POS has to be working, which doesn't always work. And when we open at 11, a lot of people don't understand why we sell out, and that's completely understandable, because when other places sell out, I'm like, well, what's happening? But it's really just, we can only make so many cookies, I guess. Like, if you were trying to make 1,000 pies a day, at one point you can only make so many with your staff and your space, and I don't want to grow too quickly, you know what I mean? I have that second kitchen, I have enough staff, but right now we're just slowly growing and growing. I think it's about slowly growing so I can keep the quality. I don't want to grow too quickly that I lose the quality and focus on quantity, because the quality of the cookies is incredibly important to me, obviously. But
yeah. So the recipe for the cookies, is that a closely guarded secret?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, all of my staff are very that's a big deal to me.
Did you have them sign an NDA?
Yes, that was the first thing we did, was meet with a lawyer about it.
That is wild.
Yes.
That's amazing. Look, I love this.
Because I worked very hard to create what I did, so I want to protect it.
Yeah.
And luckily, I have really good staff, so I trust them.
That's good. That's good. So, going back to you being a young boss and learning how to be in that position, what are some of the things that you believe, or that you're trying to work on yourself? Like, what is 2 or 3 sticking points that you feel like you lack in being a good leader?
Probably being okay with being wrong. That's a hard thing to do, especially being a boss. So I'm learning to be like, yeah, that was my fault. Like, I'm learning to always catch myself and not just blame them out of like pride. So I don't do that, but I'm always watching. Like, I'm always making sure, oh, that was my fault. Sorry, that was my fault. Like, I scheduled you wrong. That's one thing I'm learning to do, and to be, I guess, consistent and fair. And to put myself in their shoes. A lot of times, that's what I always tell them. I'm like, I want to make sure that y'all still have a social life and enough time for school, but y'all get the hours y'all need. So I guess being okay with being wrong, because nobody likes to be wrong, but I'm learning to be okay with being wrong and to learn. Like, I'm always asking them for feedback in ways that we can do better. So realizing that I don't know everything. Like, you know what I mean? And I don't think I know everything, but that's one thing that I value, is like being okay with being wrong. Gosh,
okay. This is good stuff. Okay, so going back to God, look, I have so many questions that I'm getting ahead of myself. So, oh God, guys, this is live. This is how it is. I don't have notes. There's a lot to talk about. Yes, there's a lot to talk about. There was something that I wanted to ask. Goodness. Look, guys, let me take a sip of water. Okay. So this is whenever I get nervous. You were telling me you get nervous. I get nervous because I get a brain fart.
Yeah, my mom always says this is the most, like, one of the biggest blessings about this business is that it has brought me out of my comfort zone, because I'm don't like crowds, don't like big groups of people. This is so out of my comfort zone. So it's really brought me out of my comfort zone, this business. But like, seeing me work the cash register, I didn't work the cash register the first 3 to 4 months. I didn't go in the front. I hid in the kitchen. If they would say, oh, Caroline's in the kitchen, I was not coming out. I was hiding in there. But now you'll see me checking out. I'm learning to slowly get out of my comfort zone and get out there.
Yeah.
Don't hide in the kitchen.
So one of the questions that I had is when you were talking about making sure that your employees have a social life. What about Caroline? Does Caroline have a social life?
Yes, I do. I love working. Like, I love staying busy. I really do not like sitting still. I'm not a chill person. Like, I don't know how to relax. But I do have, because I have, a lot of people ask why we're closed, as, like, why we're only open 4 days a week. And that's because we're open Wednesday through Saturday, but we actually work Tuesday through Saturday, because, you have to prep the cookie dough.
You're prepping, yeah.
Yeah, so I have Sunday and Monday off, which is really nice. And they're both kind of chill days, Sundays and Mondays. So I do have a social life, I guess. But it is weird seeing all my friends doing different things. And I guess I just never thought that I wouldn't be in college. And it's very eye-opening. I always say, like, nobody ever told you, everybody always says, like, college. They don't say there's anything else besides that. And I think that's something that I realized is
I think that
college
comes from,
is amazing, but there is so many other things that you can
I think
do
that comes from just there's been a lot of history of, people growing up thinking that college is the end-all be-all. You got to get a college education, because in high school they started drilling that into people, and it really made people feel like the only way to make it in life, the only way to get the income that you need is to go get a college degree. But what's amazing is there's a lot of people who have shown, business owners, entrepreneurs, have shown that if you just go out of the box, take it there's a risk involved to it.
A very big risk.
Yes. But you can make something out of nothing. And
for sure.
I mean, you can look at some of the biggest CEOs in the past that most of them didn't have a college degree.
Yeah.
If they did go to college, they ended up dropping out.
Or my uncle went fully through nursing school and then just was like, I'm not going to do nursing. And now they have a totally different business, transportation business. So it's like some people don't even end up using it. But I remember when I was talking to my mom about dropping out of college, I was like, why don't you want me to? And she was like, because you're so smart. And she is right, but I can use my smartness in other areas.
Yeah.
In a different way. But also I would love to go back to college one day once I had the opportunity to, because I would like to get a degree just to have it and to feel proud of myself for getting it. But if I don't get it, I won't be upset, I guess.
And what degree would that be? Probably
something with business. But my best friend's dad is my business partner, and he was like, the best way to learn business is through business. He was like, the things that you're learning right now, you couldn't be taught in a college classroom.
No, I mean,
I've learned so much, and I still have so much to learn, but I'm learning every single day new things, and I'm excited to learn how to run a business.
Because I don't have experience to speak on this, so if somebody's watching, if they try to judge me, that's fine. You can do what you want. But college professors teach that teach business, that teach sales. I would say most of them are probably not in that field, because they're professors. They're teaching. So there's different things that happen in business, and business evolves so quickly, especially with different technology that comes out, and just
every
the
business
demand
is so different.
And the supply and just all that good stuff. That real world experience, and I think real world experience in general is so much better. Yeah. I think college is great, and I think that lays a foundation. For the most part. But once you get into it, I mean, you get rocked.
Yeah. I listen to a lot of entrepreneurial podcasts and videos and stuff, and a lot of people say if they knew what was coming, they probably wouldn't have started their business. So it's kind of good not knowing, because I had nothing to fear. I didn't know. I was just going in for it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was very nervous opening this business, but I didn't know what to expect, and that was almost good in a way, because you just hit it head on and you deal with it that way.
You don't have any regrets, right?
I do not. I don't at all. No, I guess just I'm learning to be confident and to not be afraid of failure, and just to hope to succeed. Okay. But you were asking one of the challenges too. One of the challenges right now especially is like supply chain issues, and with raising my prices, one of the things is I don't just order all my ingredients from one place. We get it from loads of places, because we're looking for the good deals and the right products. So that has been a challenge. There's a shortage of cream cheese, there's a shortage of this and that, and price increases and everything. So that has been a learning experience. Like, I every 2 weeks look at the prices of the ingredients, and we don't just order it from one place, and things go out of stock. So finding ingredients to make that many cookies a week has been a growing experience, because we started off making 600, now we're making 2,000. So you have to find space for all these ingredients and stuff. Yeah.
So there's maybe a question that you may not be able to answer, or you may be able to. You may be confident in it. So if the supply chain gets back to a normal spot, whatever that looks like, if that even happens, and prices on ingredients lowers, are you going to reassess your pricing, or do you feel confident that you're going to stay at the $3 mark?
So pricing is like a very awkward thing for me. I hate charging people. I give away free cookies all the time because I just like, I don't want to charge you. It's cookies. I'm just gonna give it to you. But I guess I don't know. I would deal with that when it comes.
Yeah.
I feel like it won't go
It's so
down.
hard. It's hard.
But
It's so hard to go back.
yeah, I don't know. I didn't want to raise it too much. I really wanted to raise it to what we needed. What we needed to raise it to, like not just to raise it, but also going from having 4 staff members working at a time to 10. The payroll, just everything increased as we made more cookies, so it made sense for us to raise the price. But I guess I would look at it as it happened if the prices go down.
Yeah. All right. So one of the other challenges that you faced over the past 6 months is that there was a moment where right before you opened your doors, your POS system just stopped working. And I think it was a nationwide shutdown.
From what I understand, we use Shopify. From what I gathered from my brother, I don't really understand this stuff because I don't do the website. There was like a nationwide shutdown. Something was not going right. So I think we checked out 2 people, and at 11:02 it wasn't working. So I was still in the kitchen at this time. I was still hiding. But I went out front to try and fix it, and I'm like, I haven't seen this problem happen before. Called my brother, and then he called Shopify, and he's like, oh no, it's down. So I just gave everybody free cookies that day because I do not like making people wait, and I didn't want to pause, and we could have done cash, but to me, that day was one of the best days ever because people walked out of there so excited, and it was a really fun thing to see, and it was exciting to talk to people, and like, they would go to check out, and they'd be like, it's free, and they would look at you like, free? Are you sure? And then they would be so excited. So I don't regret that at all. A lot of people messaged me and were like, offering new POS, or you could have done cash or Venmo, but I was like, might have lost a little bit of money that day, but it was totally worth it to see that many people excited to get their cookies.
You know what? It's so amazing that you would have even have thought about doing that because most business owners, logic says, don't give away a full day's worth of free stuff because you lose so much money.
I think I also like things running smoothly, so I didn't. I was like, oh no, we're not gonna just stop. We're just gonna keep it going. But another thing is, I'm not in the business for the money. Like when I think of my business, obviously we have to make money, and we can't be.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're for profit.
It is a business, but I don't think of it as a business, and it might just be cookies to other people, but like cookies are my passion, so I think of it as sharing something that I love. I don't think of it in terms of money, even though I probably should have not given away a ton of cookies for free, but it ended up awesome, and then a lot of people tipped, and my staff got awesome tips, so my staff was happy and my customers were happy, so I was very excited.
Dude, I mean, I'm kind of jealous that I wasn't in line that day.
So many people were commenting like, we chose the wrong day not to wait in line.
Right? Dude, okay. That's such an amazing story, and if anybody's watching, I mean, you can't tell me that this isn't a good local business owner, and I'm giving you all the pats on the back there.
Thank you very much. I'm trying to learn to be the best that I can and grow and learn how to be a business owner and a boss.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of growing in it, but I feel very fortunate and thankful that every day I'm like, is the virtual queue are people gonna come back? And they do, and I'm always so nervous for the beginning of the month for people to try my new flavors, but it always ends out working out just fine.
Okay, so we just got a comment, and I want to show this one real quick. It is Suzette Fowler. I got my logos in the way. Let me turn those off. She says she's going places, heart emoji.
Oh, that's so sweet. There's so many messages and comments that I get that really keep me going, is all I can say. Because seeing people comment nice things or positive things and see that we're really like trying to make it as smooth a process and learn, because we didn't know what to expect. I really had no idea. I did not think that we would be selling this many cookies, and I'm so happy we are. But seeing people's patience and messages that they love the cookies, and the biggest thing, the thing I get most excited about is seeing people come back. Like, we have 3 levels of our punch cards. So the first punch card, after 10 visits, you get a free cookie, and then the second level, you get 6 free cookies. In the 3rd level, you get a dozen free cookies. And we have about 5 people on their 3rd level, which means they've come 30 times. Which is the most, like, that is the coolest thing to me, to see people come excited for cookies and then come back the next week.
30 times?
Yes. So, well, they haven't gotten to 30. They've come at least 20 times. They've come 25 to 30 times by now. Yeah. So
that is insane. I mean, is that family or is that people you don't know?
No, it's people I don't know, which is the best part.
That's the best part.
That's the most rewarding thing, is seeing people come back because you know you're doing something right.
Gosh. Okay. We're at 40 minutes. I want to start landing this Boeing 747 right now, but so kind of going back to what the future looks like for Caroline's companies. Caroline's companies. Wrong, Caroline.
There's so many Carolines.
God.
There's Caroline and Company, Sweet Caroline, and there's Caroline's Cookies in Lafayette.
Cut. Live podcast, guys. Okay, Caroline's Cookies. So the future, right now, you don't know what it looks like, I guess, in the short term, because that can change a lot.
I have had a lot of questions about pre-orders, too. Pre-orders and catering. So I had anticipated when we opened to do pre-orders and catering a few months after. I was thinking 1 to 2 months. Well, I did a test trial of pre-orders. I can't remember when. It was in December, I think, or November. I think it was November. I remember the flavors. It sold out very fast, which was amazing. But I will tell you, boxing up those orders I did way too many. I think it was 900 cookies. And boxing up those orders was quite the hassle, I will admit. So I'm going to hold off on pre-orders right now, because another thing, though, that I really like is when people came to pick up their pre-orders, it was just, here you go and buy. I really love, like, the bakery experience. I love people coming in. There's music. We get to talk to them. They get to order their cookies in front of us. We can explain the flavors. And we get to check them out. I really like the experience. Like, I want people to come. The in-person
experience is so good.
And I know there's a lot of convenience that comes with pre-orders, but the time slots are the closest thing to pre-orders. And I really want people to come back for the cookies, but also the customer service. I want us to make your day, a little small part of your day, a little bit better. So I'm very big on having good customer service, so hopefully we're doing good at that.
No, look, if you can master customer service, you can have subpar product any day.
Well, I always tell them, I'm like, even if people hate our cookies, if they come and hate our cookies, hopefully they can say they had great service. So that's what I'm working towards. Hopefully they love the cookies, though.
So we got another comment. It is Emily Clements. Insane how young and successful she is.
I think, I might be wrong, but I think that she was in line at our grand opening. I'm pretty sure that's her last name. She was in line at our grand opening, and I don't know how long they had been waiting. We opened at 3, I believe. And she actually fainted and hit the cement because I think she was dehydrated or she got overheated, and the ambulance had to come get her. And so I ended up giving her free cookies a few weeks later because I felt so bad, but she fainted from waiting out in line for so long. So that's another good reason for virtual time slots, is you don't have to wait outside for that long. But yes, it was. I felt so bad.
Wow.
We had another girl that, this is before we did time slots, because people would wait outside for so long. So the time slots really are nice, but she got, I think she was dehydrated and she started fainting in line. So. She
commented back. Hold up. So she said, yes, that's me.
Yes.
Oh my God.
She's very sweet.
Emily.
She's come back several times, but she hasn't fainted. Don't worry.
Oh my goodness. Like, I could not imagine that happening.
Yes.
Obviously she's watching. If I'm gonna ask you a question. I mean, what was that experience like? And you can drop it in the comments.
I don't know how long she had been waiting in line, but I remember somebody said somebody just fainted outside, and I was like, oh my gosh. But the whole grand opening was kind of a blur for me too. I remember there was so much adrenaline that I barely remember it because I was so nervous. So
that is insane. I mean, it's so wild that you remember too.
Yes. Well, because I see she comes back all the time. So I see her, she messages and posts on her stories, which is another amazing thing. People who comment and message me, but also people who post on their Instagram stories or their Facebook. It goes a long way because word of mouth is really how we've grown. So that means so much to me because that's how we've grown. So
yeah. Dude, all right. So, real quick, touching back onto the future. Hopefully, Emily comments. If she doesn't, that's fine. Emily, you don't have to. So, do you envision a franchise model? Do you envision a local chain? Like, what does that look like for you? Let's say 10 years down the road. Yeah. Where do you hope? Like, you have to have some type of goal. Like, what do you see for Caroline's Cookies?
I guess being that I'm not in it for the money. I've had people ask about franchises and ask to franchise, and I really like local business. Like, I think it's a lot cooler than franchising, but I know that opinion could change.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I guess dreaming big, I would love to have 2 or 3, 4 or 5 stores, but I don't think that I would like to franchise. Because, if that's even a possibility, because I love local business.
You're so hands-on, too. Like, I think you would just fry your brain trying to make sure all that stays.
I really like having a local business. I feel like it's more personal, and the experience is different. I don't know. I feel like you stand out as a local business, and you have a better... I don't know. I think I just like local business. I know that franchise is for some people, but I feel like I really like having what I have, and I feel very blessed. But I know that could change, too. So, who knows? I'm not very good at answering long-term questions.
I don't think anybody would give you any sort of grief about expanding. I mean, you said it's not for the money, and that's great.
Yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with being successful.
Yes. I feel like my idea of success, though, it would be so amazing to have, like, 3 stores that did well instead of having a bunch of franchises that did, decent. I don't know.
If you could open up 2 more stores, where would you bring them? Would you open them up in the same city, or do you think that the capacity
Probably not the same city, because I feel like we don't need more than 1 cookie store.
Right.
I feel like we're not that big. You can drive. Nobody's super far, but we do have a lot of people, which is really cool. Come from Houma, Thibodaux, Baton Rouge. We've had Bunkie. I don't really know all the cities, New Orleans, but it's so cool when people come from other cities. We have had a lot of that. I don't know where I would go next.
Where is your biggest demographic coming from besides Lafayette?
I would say Baton Rouge, I think.
So you think opening up a location in Baton Rouge would be beneficial?
But it's so close. I don't know.
That's why PF Change doesn't come to Lafayette.
Yeah, because people drive there.
Yeah, people drive to Baton Rouge.
I honestly probably don't know enough at this point to decide, but New Orleans would be cool, but I don't know.
Well, you don't have to, obviously, you don't have to determine your business plans right now.
I'm trying to think, but I don't know. We do have a lot of people drive from out of town, which is very, very, very cool.
So you think maybe out of state would be better for you?
Maybe. I don't know.
Go to Texas, man.
Yeah, I know. Probably Texas
the cookies are
cool.
Texas-sized anyway.
Exactly. And I know that cookies would fit in anywhere because people like dessert. So, I've always said, it's kind of cheesy, but dessert doesn't go out of style. So as long as you stay up to date and keep coming out with new flavors.
Why not maybe do the direct-to-consumer model, go back to opening up your website for online orders?
That's another thing that I think that I probably won't do. I really love the bakery experience.
Okay,
like I said.
got it.
Like I feel like well, number one, they don't have preservatives in them, so I always tell people, like, how long do they last? I'm like, as fast as you can eat them. So
like less than
I would
2 days?
say 2 days, because when you bake any homemade baked good, they really don't last long, because like I said, they don't have preservatives.
They start to get dry.
Yeah, they start to get dry and don't taste as good as when they came out the oven.
Right.
But I always say 1 to 2 days, and I feel like when you do shipping, you lose control of what the product's going to be like when it gets to the customer.
Yeah.
Because especially with how shipping is these days, I would hate to see what the cookie looked like once it got to them. And I really love seeing people coming in and experiencing that, especially with everything being online now.
Yeah.
And we don't have as much, everything's pre-order, so it's fun to experience something. Some lady the other day came and she was so happy. She's like, this is such an experience, and it was so positive, and I love seeing people.
Dude, I love that. All right, so I know I said I was landing this plane. The wheels are coming out. All right, so we got Emily again. So she responded. This is what she responded with. She goes, well, my friend Chloe works there, and I am a sucker for sweets. And I was outside for 2 hours, and then I got... Oh, God, it's not showing the whole comment, but I got too hot and passed out. I hit the ground so hard that I had a seizure.
Yes, that's what it was.
Oh, my God. Okay, and so this is the next part of the comment. So I ended up with a concussion and free cookies. And she goes, thank you again, Caroline. You are amazing.
She's so sweet. She's come back so many times. I recognize her name because now I've seen her a bunch of times. But yeah, that was I felt very bad. On the Halloween party, too, we had like a Halloween party. And if you dressed up, you got a free cookie and you got to spin a wheel for prizes. Well, this is before I did time slots. People waited 2 hours. And after that night, I was like, we got to figure something out. So we started time slots after that because that's when we realized, like, my sister waited in line, actually, for 2 hours. She's like, Caroline, I just waited in line 2 hours for your cookies. And that's when we kind of decided, like, we need to make something way more convenient. So the time slots have evolved. They were first in person. Like, you'd come at, I think it started at it was not 9 a.m., but now it's at 10 a.m. You come in at 10 a.m. to get a time slot, and you come back at 11 or whenever your time was. And then we moved it to virtual because it's way more convenient for you to do it on your phone or your laptop. So the way to get cookies now, as of right now, I always say, like, call us or check our website to see what it is. But for the past few months, we've been doing time slots, and now we're at virtual time slots. So if you head to our website, working well. Yes, it's been working very well. And for some, the only issue that happens is we have about 500 people hop on the website each morning, and there's only 200 to 300. So the only issue is a lot of people put their name and number in and they don't get one, which I don't have a solution right now, and I wish that everybody could get cookies, but that's the only issue is it's hard to get them because they go so fast. But hopefully we keep making more cookies and more people come.
Yeah. So increasing the amount of cookies you bake, and that'll be the last thing I want to touch on, and then I'm serious, the wheels are going to hit the tarmac. How many cookies do you think you'd be able to bake in a day? Realistically, with the staff you have now, you're up to close to 2,000, right?
Yes.
Like, what would be a good number that you would hope to see, I guess, in production?
I guess it also depends on the flavors. So, like, this week we have red velvet and king cake, which are both extremely time consuming. It's not that they're hard, they just have so many steps to them. And I have no idea. I was expecting to sell 300 cookies, like I said, and then we moved to 600 and 700 and 800, and it hasn't slowed down. I don't know. I'm very curious to see what the business will look like in like 3 months. Or I always say I hope things never die down, but I'm curious to see what it looks like once things chill out. I feel like we would sell like 500 cookies a day once things die down. 300 to 500. I feel like I'm still at that number.
I love how you say once things die down. People, whenever I wrote about your business being physical location, coming soon kind of situation,
everyone
once
commented
it opened,
that they were gonna wait till
wait till the quote unquote newness comes off, which in most businesses the newness is about 3 months.
Yes,
that's a honeymoon
I feel
phase.
Extremely, very thankful, excited that we're at 6 months. That's incredible.
Like you have if the honeymoon phase still exists, in your case, you've managed to extend the newness phase for a time that
my mom and I are the same way. We're always like, next month it's gonna die down. Like, not hoping, we hope it will continue to succeed, but
but you're trying to be real.
Yeah, realistic. I always try to be realistic with myself because I don't want to dream too big, and it hasn't died down, and it would be amazing if it never does, but I know one day it will. So
I think. Look, you say that. People drive to Chick-fil-A, hog up the road. Raising Cane's hogs up traffic. Popeyes, all of a sudden...
luckily, Lafayette loves food, so...
Yeah, look. If anything keeps you in business, Lafayette will keep you in business. If it's a food business and your product is good and your customer service is good, I mean, Lafayette pretty much does their job of keeping good stuff. Yes,
and I love it because I love eating out. So.
But we have a lot of food, but we don't have the largest variety of food, and I think we could do better on that. But look, I've loved this conversation. I love getting the update. There's a lot of people that are watching, I'm pretty sure, that cannot wait to get a cookie because there's probably a lot of people watching that are like, I still have not got a cookie.
And I want to say thank you for your patience to everyone who hasn't gotten a cookie, and hopefully you will get a cookie soon. We're working continuously to A, make more cookies, and B, make it easier to get them. So hopefully you give us a chance and you get those cookies one day, and hopefully you love them and come back. Awesome.
Well, Caroline, I'm thankful that you agreed to come back on to do this touch base. It's amazing. I love watching your business. I'm hoping to try a cookie pretty soon. And look, I hope that this newness never wears off.
Thank you so much.
I hope in another 5-10 years that there's still this weird situation where you're selling out of cookies every day and people are still asking years later, what is she doing? Is she putting crack in the cookies?
People always say that. It's weird, but it's awesome at the same time. It's like I don't know what's going on, and I love it. So
look, enjoy it. Take care of the business as you are already doing, and who knows, man? Maybe in another year or so, depending on where you're at, I'll bring you back on to see what is going on.
That would be awesome. I would love to. Thank you for having me. I was excited. This was awesome.
Awesome. Look, again, thank you. And thank you for everybody that watched and commented. Emily, I'm glad you're doing great. Obviously, you're doing fine because you're commenting. Everything looks great. And with that, guys, have a great Friday and a great weekend. And hopefully you can get your hands on a Caroline's cookies at some point. Get on her website. I mean, as soon as virtual time slots open, just hammer down on it. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, and with that, again, Caroline, thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys, y'all have a great one.